Now, you're probably asking why I'm making a Resident Evil 9 video when it's not even close to being out yet, but that is because a lot of people have already made these kind of videos though on this game, so I might as well just join in on the fun and just, see how this video turns out though, but obviously I'm gonna, put some effort into it. So, anyways, let's get into some questions about Resident Evil 9, and let's start off with the first one. Number one, have you guys subscribed to my channel yet? We are very close to 400 subscribers. Our end goal is 1,000, and it would be very, very appreciated if you guys end up liking this video and subscribing to the channel. I would love you guys eternally if you guys ended up hitting that subscribe button. And if you guys are just Resident Evil fans in general, though, I'm just, a low budget Resident Evil YouTuber that's just, trying to make this his hobby and trying to have some fun with it though. But yeah, nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video though, and remember, be sure to subscribe to the channel. But now, let's get into the real question. Number one, when will Resident Evil 9 release? Now, the best possible release date for the Resident Evil 9 release window, or whatever you guys want to call it, is around the range of 2024 to 2025. Why should it be by that long? Is because of this. Resident Evil 7 released in 2017. It took 4 years for Resident Evil Village to come out, even though Village was already in development at the time in 2017 when RE7 got released. But here's the fun fact though. Resident Evil 9 has already been in development since 2018. And I'm just going to put this up on the screen real quick. It says this: Resident Evil 9 will apparently have the longest development journey of any game in the series. It's already been in development since 2018. So that does go to show, though, that this is specifically most likely going to be the trilogy of the Winters family. Mostly the two other games, 7 and 8, were about Ethan, and Resident Evil 9 is going to be about somebody else, but that is going to be for another question that is going to be featured in this video. So we are going on to number 2 now. Will Resident Evil 8's DLC be a build-up to Resident Evil 9? Now, Resident Evil 8's DLC had a huge teaser with Chris going to BSA HQ to figure out why the hell are they using BOW monsters or zombies or whatever the case may be. It could be something similar to a virus that Chris has already encountered before, possibly in either Resident Evil 6, Vendetta, or even 7, or even the mold, or the Cadu mold, who knows. But nonetheless, this is basically what Chris said to really tease maybe one of the Resident Evil 8 DLCs. Pick up the rest of the squad, plot a course for BSA HQ Europe, someone's gotta pay. That definitely gets me a lot hyped for RE8's DLC. I know there's definitely going to be more than one DLC, because if RE7 was able to do it, I may have said this in a previous video, if RE7 is able to do it, why can't Resident Evil Village though? I think that is definitely going to be the build-up for Resident Evil 9, to tease maybe possibly, who knows, which is going to lead into number 3, who will be the main protagonist. Now, the odds-on favorite for the main protagonist is definitely going to be Rosemary Winters, aka Ethan's daughter. If you guys haven't played Resident Evil Village yet, I would strongly invite you guys to play this. It's one of the best games of 2021, by the way. Rose has grown up into like this basically adult teenager like person already so fast apparently, and she has already been teased as the next Resident Evil character though. But there is one question that we could be asking ourselves though. You know how Chris was to Ethan basically as the guardian angel? It could potentially be like that similar situation with Rose, which leads into our fourth question. Will another OG RE character make his or her return? Now, I know Chris has been starred in Resident Evil 5, 6, 7, of CG movie Resident Evil Vendetta, and Village, so a lot of people, including myself, definitely want to see this guy take a break. It's definitely deserved, and I think the Resident Evil 9 could be the perfect game for him to just take a nice long break, because he's been in the fight for a really long time. He's basically dominated the 2010s for Resident Evil, and I mean, that's just how it is, I guess, for Chris Redfield. So, what do I mean by that? Is that, will another OGRE character return to the screen? Could we end up seeing Jill Valentine? Could we see Sheva Alomar? Could we see Sherry? By the way, Sheva and Sherry are definitely one-off characters currently. They've only appeared in one game and they haven't appeared since, but they definitely have the possibility to return, especially Sherry Birkin, who I think is more favorable to return out of those two. Other people like Claire Redfield could definitely be a return to Resident Evil 9, and I'll even throw in Leon S. Kennedy if I have to, because he hasn't been in a game since 2012, which was Resident Evil 6. Basically, every single RE character except for Chris hasn't been in an RE game in almost over 7 years. We're not counting remakes, by the way. And also, I would like to package Leon and Ada basically together, since every single game that they've been in, they've basically been in the same game, right? So we're gonna lead into the fifth question, and that is Ethan Winters really dead? Now, this has been probably the biggest question throughout the entire RE story. Remember, Resident Evil Village's story, basically at the end of it, it basically just gave us a shitload of questions, and it's just absolutely insane on what the possibilities Resident Evil 9 could be. So these are definitely the things about whether or not if he's dead or if he's not dead. I'm going to talk about the stuff about whether he's not dead. The first one is the death off screen. Now, of course, we have seen a couple deaths, quote unquote, off screen, but turns out that some of them have been alive, I would have to say. And that leads us to another point for question number 5, which is basically what we're on. And the second one is Ethan at the end of the game. So, in case anybody is wondering, that mysterious figure that you see walking towards the SUV that Rose was in, that was Ethan Winters. And I really don't know if that was a mod or not, but if it is Ethan, it could potentially be, could he return? Is he really alive? Is he dead? Or is he a part of Rose's vision? Who knows? And number 3, the gravestone. Now, we've already seen a gravestone in a Resident Evil game about a certain RE character that ends up being alive either later on in the game or in another Resident Evil title. I'm pretty sure you guys know exactly what game and what character I'm talking about. So, it's definitely a huge, it could definitely be like a leak or a spoiler. It could be an Easter egg to whether or not if he's dead or not, but we're going to go on to the things about him being 100% dead. Number 1 is Rose's vision. Rose's vision could definitely be a huge factor into this game, and who knows, it could even be a factor into Resident Evil 9. Rose definitely is like a special baby, though. She definitely is, how could you say it? Very Evelyn-like in Resident Evil 7. So I definitely think Rose's vision could be a reason why that she saw Ethan walking towards the convoy or the SUV, whatever you guys want to call it, at the end of the game. Number 2 was basically Ethan crumbling. After he ended up killing Mother Miranda and getting Rose, his entire hand ended up crumbling off of him, and he was severely weakened. He was basically on the brink of death, and that could definitely be the number 1 thing on why he's dead. And the last one, which probably confirms it, was the father's story is now done. I definitely think that he is dead, but if you guys do see a reason why he will be alive, just comment down below to see if he's, dead or alive, though. There's a certain side of people that want to see Ethan alive and return to Resident Evil 9 with his daughter, whatever the case may be. Or some people even think that he's dead or he should just be done with. Even some people have just been tired of Ethan in general, which is interesting, but I mean, I don't blame them. The last 2 games have been about him, but nonetheless, it is what it is about Ethan, whether he's dead or alive or not. And leading into the final question for number 6, I was about to say Resident Evil 6, is how big was the time skip? Now, when Ethan died, Rose was just a baby. And then all of a sudden, at the post-credit scene, she's basically into like this full teenager or like young adult. Now, there has been like a thing that when I said that Rose is very Evelyn-like, Evelyn apparently had this thing where she ended up aging really, really fast when she was basically this young girl in like a lot of people's visions, and then boom, she's that old lady in the baker's house the entire time. So basically, there may be a tendency to age fast, though. So it depends, though. How big was the time skip if Rose has that ability to like age fast? Has it been 2 years, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Has it been, or has it even been even short of 1 year? Could it have just been a week, a month, or even a couple months in, though? But definitely, I think the scenario would be 1 year, 2 years, maybe even 5+ years. And plus, apparently there was a rumor that Chris was supposed to be in the post-credit scene, but he really wasn't, so that definitely does go to show that, like, that shit got scrapped. And apparently it was supposed to show an old Chris. Apparently, this post-credit scene was supposed to take place 15 years into the future, and now that might not be the case. And apparently for the Resident Evil 9 setting, I don't know how credible this leaker is in terms of like, is he trustworthy as a leak? Though this person said about regarding to a supposed Resident Evil 9 leak, he said these rumors of Resident Evil 9 better be nothing more than BS because the game's main setting is basically Silent Hill, aka Ghost Town, with the addition of folklore creatures like the Goat Man and Wendigo as enemies. Hashtag Resident Evil, hashtag RE9, hashtag rumors. Let me just say this: take that shit with a grain of salt. 100%. We're not even close to this game as of right now, but I would definitely say take this with a grain of salt. You don't have to necessarily trust him, but if you want to trust him, go right ahead. It's just, you know, be on your toes about these leaks. I definitely knew that leaks about RE9 was going to come out this year, especially that it's about 2, maybe 3 years away. But again, take those rumors with a grain of salt. Take any rumor with a grain of salt. You just don't know because Capcom has a tendency to scrap things and replace it with a new thing. For example, Resident Evil Village was supposed to star Ada Wong. Hell, her concept art was a part of Ethan's Trauma Pack DLC. She was originally supposed to be the character where basically Chris was. She was supposed to be the supposed guardian angel for Ethan in Resident Evil Village, but she ended up getting scrapped because she didn't fit in Ethan's story. So a lot of things could definitely get scrapped. There was another thing that ended up getting scrapped about Resident Evil like a long time ago, but it honestly could be like a video for like itself, and I don't even know if it's even like 100% true. But I'm gonna get out of that shit right now. That is the end of today's video, though. If you guys end up enjoying today's video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, like I said earlier in this video. I hope you guys have yourselves a good day, a good night.